Hi, welcome to this video, which is all about a key reason why traders lose money in the markets. Now, if you want to trade with total confidence and discipline at all times, you need to know how the brain-body feedback loop works and how it can affect your judgment when you're trading under pressure. Now, we'll be discussing the brain-body feedback loop in more detail later in this video, but what I want to do first of all is start with some quotes from a book called The Dog and the Wolf, which I think is one of the best books ever written on financial trading. It's written by a guy called John Coates, and he went into how our biological makeup actually has an influence on the way we deal with risk. So I just want to show you these few quotes, and then I'll be back to discuss them in more detail in a moment.
If it went all the way up to 19,000, I stood to make a killing in all the options I've been selling. Come on, come on. Come on, baby, you can do it, come on. Yes! Baby, we're in a fucking roll! Yes! Can we do it?
It's amazing. You've made back all the losses. Over $10 million.
What did I tell you? Oh, ye of little faith. You keep doubling up, and sooner or later, you're bound to win.
Hi, welcome back. After that short clip there from one of my favourite films, the film Rogue Trader about Nick Leeson, and some quotes from John Coates. Now, those quotes to me make total sense, and I'm sure they do to you as well. When we are trading, we feel it in our bodies depending on how we are doing. If we are winning, then basically, we might have our chest puffed out a bit more, we'll walk taller with a bit of a spring in our step, we'll just feel good throughout our bodies. It's a bit like Nick Leeson in the film there. Now, we've also all experienced this. We have a great profit, we're doing well, then suddenly we give all the money back to the market, maybe even more. We can't really work out why we did it. Well, testosterone actually helped us do it. Now, on the other side, when we are losing, we might see great opportunities in the market, but we're feeling tense, maybe sweating a little bit, feeling that sickness to the pit of the stomach because we're not having that great a run in the market, and we can't do what we're supposed to be doing. That is cortisol at work, another steroid hormone. Now, both these steroid hormones loop back to the brain and put you off doing what you should. Now, we'll discuss why they do this and how you overcome the hormones from interrupting what you should do in a moment. But just first of all, I want to give a quick review of both steroid hormones, testosterone and cortisol. Only take about a minute. I'm just going to list out the key things we need to know about these hormones in relation to trading, and I'll be back in a moment. Welcome back after that short summary there on how testosterone and cortisol affect us as traders. And you can see the impact is big. And a lot of traders are unaware of the actual difficulty they are going to have overcoming their hormonal responses when dealing with risk and dealing with trading, simply because of the feedback loop that is created between body and brain. Just want to explain what actually happens when those hormones come into the body. The brain obviously triggers them. But then what happens is when the hormones are in the body, they actually send messages to the brain, instructing the brain on what the hormone thinks should be done. Now you might be thinking, well, that seems kind of peculiar. Surely, all our thinking should just be contained within the brain. Why is the body involved? Well, if you think about our survival as a species, then you've got the answer. Let's say you're walking along one day and a tiger jumps out at you. The hormones get released into the body, okay? And as the tiger gets closer, the hormones will actually become stronger and send a stronger impulse to the brain on what to do. So the brain and body actually merge together as one. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's all very well with being attacked by a tiger, but dealing with money shouldn't trigger that response. Well, you've got to consider actually how important money is to most people. It's seen obviously as a basic need, and it does trigger strong responses, in terms of the hormones feeding back to the brain. It's a very powerful combination of body and brain together. However, when we're trading, we've got to be aware that the combination that comes into play wasn't put in us for basically trading money. It was for our basic survival. So when you get testosterone flooding into your body because you keep winning in the markets, obviously if those levels stay elevated for too long, you are eventually going to give the money back to the market because you become too confident and aggressive. And with cortisol, the more you lose, the less confident you become. So how do you deal with these hormones? Well, I think just to know about how they work is a great help. Because, for example, let's say you're feeling too confident, you want to become too aggressive in your trading. You know why you are feeling that way. So you can basically calm yourself down and think, what can go wrong from here rather than what can go right. So you take a defensive stance when you start winning a lot of money. Also, one of my favourite sort of tips to anyone when they make a lot of money in a short period of time and they're feeling really good, really confident, really aggressive, take the lot in. So just bank all the money and then have a few days break from the markets, because that will calm you down. You've got the money in the bank. I'm sure every trader has kicked themselves when they've given money back to the market. Maybe you could make more, doesn't matter. You've got what you're happy with, take it in, calm down, come back to the markets in a few days. If you're in one of those periods where you just can't stop losing, losing trade after trade, and it's really getting you down, the best thing that you can do is stop trading, okay? Stop trading, go away from the markets again, clear your head just to get your confidence back, and then come back to trading. I think if you're experienced as a trader and you're really confident in your strategy, you've got experience of drawdown, then you can normally just maintain your discipline and carry on. But for beginners, it's very hard to get through their first long drawdown period. And I think, in terms of our mindset when we're trading, obviously, testosterone and cortisol are working there basically to put us off what we should be doing. And I'm all in favour, if you want to reduce stress levels, exercise, meditate. If you feel good within yourself, okay, that will help you have clear thought. Now, we are human. We cannot get rid of our emotions. We also cannot get rid of our hormones. The best we can do is control them. A lot of traders think emotional control is pretty easy when they come in the markets. They soon find out when you're dealing with risk, money is on the line, it's very hard. You do things that you look back on, you think, I shouldn't have done that. Like I said, money is a basic need. If you think of it from a different angle, okay, testosterone is involved with money, okay? It's also involved with your dealings with the opposite sex. So how many times have you acted illogically with a partner? Maybe you pursued a woman who wasn't really interested. You knew deep down she wasn't interested, but you still did it. Why? Because hormones are involved. They're telling you to do something, even though rationally you're thinking you shouldn't do it. And in terms of Coates' book in particular, he makes the point that it doesn't matter how much technology we've got, how much we think that we can control our emotions, we will never really be able to do so. He points to big banks and brokerages. You always see a trader have a massive blowout. Okay, I showed Nick Leeson earlier on, obviously brought down Barings Bank, but how many traders since him have actually had massive blowouts? You normally hear of one every few months. In a dealing room in particular, it is a very testosterone charged atmosphere, and also you do get like the cortisol impact as well on traders. When you think about professional traders, the amount of money they're dealing with, the stress they have to deal with, you can see why those hormones can sometimes just throw them off track. You've got a trader been trading well for many, many years, suddenly you get a blowout. You can never ever relax in terms of mindset and your psychology. You always have to be aware of how those hormones are working in the background to put you off doing what you really should be doing. I think for me, one of the worst experiences I ever had, and it was also one of the best when it started, was when I made a big amount of money in the markets. I just felt absolutely euphoric. I just can't describe the feeling. It's just total euphoria. But what I did was I let that euphoria run away. I became too aggressive in my trading. Not only did I lose all my profit back to the markets, I lost $250,000. And that just sent me into total despair. And it's when we really realise how your mind and body are connected. I was physically ill, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. In the end, I could hardly function. I spent, I think after the loss was actually concluded, a week just lying around or sitting around really depressed. It's my hormones that caused me the euphoria in the first place and caused me that devastating feeling of loss. And in terms of Coates' book as well, he makes a point about Plato, and I'm sure you can see a book on my shelf. And I really like Plato, but Plato was all to do with logic and reason and how we can control ourselves. There was another Greek philosopher called Archimedes, who was the exact opposite. He was always talking about our faults, our animal instincts that could get the better of us. I think that's what basically can happen in trading. And in terms of Greek philosophy, there was a Greek philosopher once who was asked a question. It was at the Temple of Delphi, and he was asked by someone, what is the hardest thing to achieve in life? And the philosopher said, self-knowledge. And the guy said, what's the easiest thing? He said, to give advice. Now, I'm giving you advice in this video, but it's only advice. You'll actually have to experience in the markets, if you haven't traded, of course, the feelings that you get from your body and your brain, gain self-knowledge and gain self-control to end up winning at Forex markets. I think, I've read a lot on biology and trading. I think Coates' book is the best. The Dog and the Wolf is just, for me, essential reading. Why is it called The Dog and the Wolf? That comes from medieval France, when they used to believe that at some time there'd be a transformation of things. The dog would turn into the wolf. Now, in trading, we're dogs effectively. We do not want to turn into the wolf where we lose control of ourselves. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. Thank you very much for watching me as per usual. Take care and have a good day.